Hey guys, so we're back at our Wynnum project this morning and it's all systems go. So look, one of the beauties of us having such detailed and really good schedules on our jobs is we can get through our jobs really quickly, but you'll see a perfect example today as I walk around and show you. We can have multiple things happening all at once because it's so well organised. People aren't tripping over each other and getting in each other's way. So on site this morning, you can see we've got the concrete truck and pump behind me. We're pouring we've just done the core fill on the block work. We're now doing the slab around the pool. We've also got the Sparky's just finishing off his roughing this morning, and we've also got the concrete honer on site. So come and I'll show you what's going on. So it might be a little bit noisy, but I really want to show you this slab around the pool. So the boys are getting stuck into pouring this slab. So this is a honed concrete slab around this pool. Got the honed concrete is going out over the pool, so the honed concrete will be the coping and the water line. So you can see the boxing there behind me. It's all formed up around the edge of the pool. But I just want to point out a few things here. So because this is honed concrete, to minimise the cracking, we've got 2 layers of mesh. The slab's a lot thicker than normal. It's 200mm thick. But around the edge here, because we've got the concrete going over and creating the coping and the water line, we've actually got some able flex here between the joint, and then we've got this waterproof putty. So not sure if you can see that down there, but basically that putty expands the wetter it gets, so we won't have any issues with water from the pool getting through that cold joint in underneath the concrete. So again, this is all details that nobody sees in the finished product, but they will see when there's defects and things go wrong in the future, and they're going to have to wear it. So this is why it pays to use a good builder that uses good consultants, good designers, good engineers, and also knows what we're doing, and we learn from our experience. So like this stuff here, this putty is very expensive. And like I said, once the concrete's down, no one can see all this detail in the slab. Down here you'll also see stainless steel dowels. So right around the pool, all those shiny bars, that's stainless steel. So we haven't just thrown your normal steel dowels in there or even galvanised dowels. The engineer has asked for stainless, that's what we've used. So yeah, really detailed slab, huge slab. So this slab's only I think it's 44 odd square metres. There's 8.6 cubic metres of concrete going in there. That's how detailed it is, got lots of thickenings. You'll see here, even the slab coming back along the house, we got a 400 by 400 trench. Like again, this is why we do all of our own steelwork. Like, check out how neat all of our steelwork is. Like I said the other day, it's all chaired up. So we put our chairs 400 to 500mm centres. One thing I cannot stand is the mess touching the ground when the concreters are walking on it. So it keeps all of our mesh at the right height. We got our cordon termite proofing along the cold joint there against the house. We've got all of our dowels into the house slab, connecting everything together. We've got our trench mesh with our linkage bars, and then we've got 1 layer of steel down on the bottom and then another layer up on top. So just yeah, everything is happening here today, but like I said, it's well organised. All these guys are working outside. We did we core filled our block wall. So first thing this morning, 7 o'clock, we core filled the walls first with the same pump, then we pumped that out and we cleaned the pump. This concrete slab here that's getting honed is just a standard grade. It's actually a 40 MPa concrete, again because of the ground requirements and the fact that it's being honed and it's sitting on top of the pool shell. It's a 40 MPa, which is huge for an external slab. So because it's a standard grade concrete, standard mix, we clean the core fill out of the pump first. We didn't want contamination between the core fill concrete mix and the 40 MPa mix because different strengths, different requirements, and if we had have got contamination in there, even if it was only a small patch like a wheelbarrow full, that would have shown up in the future. It would have been an area that would have cracked, it would have been different colour, the stone size in the when it's ground would have been different. So guys, it's all in the detail. Never ever select a builder based on price, because all this stuff I'm showing you now is a difference between a good builder and a bad builder. Anyone can make a project look good at the end with a coat of paint and show all the shiny pictures, but it's what's in the ground, it's what's behind the walls, it's what's in the walls, it's all that detail that nobody sees that makes all the difference. So we're around the front of the house now. The boys have been cracking on the steps, so they're all coming up really nicely. These are old recycled steps that we saved off a job from 2 or 3 years ago, so the boys are doing some repair work on them and just tidying them up. They'll look absolutely smick by the time we're finished. I showed you in the previous video, at the same time, as soon as they finish pouring the slab around the pool, they'll come around here and pour this little entry path. Same deal, honed concrete. So look, this is what I mean. I can stand on this full weight and look at that, the mesh doesn't bend down because we got our chairs at 400 to 500 mil centers. The mesh doesn't touch the ground, so when the concretes are working on it, the mesh stays where it's meant to be. I cannot stand seeing builders posting videos of their concrete work and driveways and even house slabs, and their mesh is just all over the place. It drives me insane. So that is what makes the difference in the future. And then you'll see up here, we've got our piers dug, and at the same time we pour the path, we've bolted some stirrups on upside down there, a little bit of a trick to the bottom tread. So we got coach screws up underneath, so it just leaves a nice little pole, and then the actual stirrup head, which would normally go up the other way, is concreted in, which will actually hold it in the concrete. So a little bit of a trick there. So come inside. Something also really exciting is happening today. We got Anton on site, Polished Concrete Floors Australia. Young Anton's an absolute legend. He does all of our concrete honing and polishing. Does a great job. Before I go in there, it's a little bit noisy in there, but we get him in at this stage, which a lot of people can't work out why. A lot of guys pour their slab, let it sit for 4 weeks, and then get the honer in before they start doing any framing or anything. You can see the stage that we've got this job to. So we've poured our slabs, we've done all our framework, all of our rough-ins inside are done, aircon, electrical, plumbing, windows are in, and we've got probably 60% of the outside of the house cladded, and now we get him in. So we get him in just before the plasterer starts, and I'll show you why when we get inside. The boys have just done the little slab for the pool filter, so again, it's all in the program, so our services have been run there. We've got an ORG for the plumber, we've got all of our pipe, filtration pipe work for the pool, we've got all of our electrical conduits in for the pool, and that's all put around the back here out of the way. So you can see there, we've got the pool area up there, everything's been run underground. We're going to stick the pool filter around here, out of the way, no noise, and not visual from the pool area. So if we come in here, like I said, it's a bit noisy. How are you, mate? Can I walk on that? So I've got young Anton here from Polished Concrete Floors Australia. Got all the gear set up, so you're just spraying some water on the ground. That helps keep the diamonds cool so they don't get too hot. And he's coming through and he's starting to hone all the floor. Got the big vacuums over there, so it's sucking up all the dust. We've got no issues with that on site. But he's basically doing a run round. He's done his first grind on a lot of the area. So you can see here, it's he's taking the first layer off the top. So the reason we get him in now, so he's going around with his really big machine and he gets as close as he can to the wall. He'll then come around with a handheld grinder and he'll go right into the frame. So that means we've got 25 millimeters, or sorry, 29 millimeters, nearly 30 mil to play with. So that way our gyp rock will go on the wall, which is 10 mil, and then we've got an 18 or 19 mil skirting. So our polished concrete will go right in underneath all that. We've got no risk of seeing any missed spots of honed concrete. And it also means that this slab has now been sitting, I think for about 7 weeks, maybe, yeah, 6 or 7 weeks. So I'll just go outside because it's really noisy in there. The longer the the longer the concrete sits and the harder it gets, the better it will hone and the better it will polish. So the internal slab on this job is a 32 MPa. And again, it's got the same amount of steel and everything as externally, but the harder the concrete gets, the better the finish you get on it. So because we've gone ahead, we've scheduled our job, we've done all this other work, the slab's been able to sit for longer, and now Anton can come in and just smash it out, do a really good job. So he basically does the first 3 grinds on it now, and then he'll put a sealer on it. And then at the end of the job, he's basically the last trade in before the cleaner. So we get everything else done. He comes right back at the end of the job and he does 1 or 2 final, they're not really grinds at the end, they're more just a, they pretty much put a polyvac on it, the same as what you'd actually put on a timber floor, and it just takes the top layer off, and then they put the more densifiers and the seals and stuff in it. So guys, that's it. Again, if you're thinking about building or renovating, contact DPS Constructions. We are the best in the business. We take pride in what we do. And like I just showed you, it's all the important stuff. It's what you don't see that makes all the difference. Cheers guys, have a great day.